Necole Anré'V, and I feel like I need to talk to y'all about when the door closes and you try to keep it open. You try to go back through that door and it's like closing on you. And so, excuse the way everything is set up. I definitely wasn't set up for this, but we're going to do it because Spirit came to me and was like, do it. So, I pulled out my little whiteboard. Excuse the lighting, like I said. We'll get it worked out because I think this is where Spirit has us going. But just know that when the door is closed or it's closing, you're ready. You're ready for this other chapter of your life to begin. You're ready to go through this other door. There's a window that's open. There's something there that means you don't have to go back through that closed door. Okay? It's closing for a reason. And I need you to go through the door that's open or even the window that's open. And there's a difference. So, like I said, this is really off the cuff. But there's some stages that you really have to remember so that you keep going forward in alignment with your desired outcome, okay? Or your goal, your whatever it is that you desire. And you may not even know what it is. You might just have a feeling that where you're at right now really isn't it, okay? And so you may not have a plan. And I really feel like that's what causes most people to try to go back through that door. It's just that fear of, what am I going to do? You might have kids that are depending on you. You might have just you depending on you. But you cannot go back through that closed door. I think the cat is going to jump down on here. So, all right. So thank you for understanding that. She's in here. And I didn't know she was in here. So this is just off the cuff. You know what? Before we even get into it, because I don't want anything else to interrupt, I'm going to get her out. And you're going to see, this is Nanny. We're going to let Nanny leave. Thank you, Nanny. Okay. So, spiritual superstars, the first thing you have to remember is that there are stages to every bit of this. It's a process. So I want you to remember whatever happens when that door closes. It could be a rejection from a relationship. It could be what a doctor tells you. It could be a job laying you off, firing. It could be divorce. It could be whatever happened. It could be death. It could be whatever it is. But it's the feeling of loss. And you have this overwhelming sense of, if I don't go back down that path, if I don't try to hang on to this, my life is going to fall apart. It won't fall apart. And I'm telling you that it is divinely timed for you to go through a different path. The first thing you're going to notice is that sense of awareness. So the awareness is the synchronicities. They're the signs. They are the downloads. They're the messages you've been getting, the nudges, the intuitive hits. You've already noticed that this door could be the job. Remember, it could be layoffs happening. It could be reassignments. It could be just firing. It could be anything that's happening. But there's some indication that it was happening before. And so there's a lead up to where you're at right now and trying to keep that door open or trying to go back through that door, okay? So when you feel like, okay, there is some spiritual guidance, there are some dreams, there are some visions, there are some messages that I've been getting. I just had a feeling. Maybe some people were telling you, they were asking you questions. Have you heard? There's some talk. There's something that was coming to you, okay? Because all is energy. And nothing just comes out of the blue. Absolutely nothing. Because everything is already created. And so life cycles. And a lot of the things that happen that cause you to want to go back through that closed door before it all the way closes, like you try to hang on to it. Everything is meant for you to grow. There's always something there, okay? And just because we are part human, that fear is fear-based energy. It's all in the physical. Wants us to go back through that door, but we can't. So there's awareness. There are the signs. There's messages. There's something there. There's always something there. Okay? We have to detach. So, what is it that you are being asked to detach from? Is it the security of a job? Is it the comfort of being in a relationship? Is it the stability that you thought you had? Is it the health or the time that you thought you had? There's something there that Spirit is asking you to detach from. All right? And there's that closed door, and you don't want to detach from it. So you're going to try to fly through that door. Is there another position that I could get? Do I have to get laid off? Is there anything else that could happen? If someone is breaking up with you, or they're asking you for a separation or divorce or anything like that, what about, we love each other. You love me, I love you. What about the family we have? What about all the years? All that just means nothing. It's going all down the drain. What can I do? How can I change? There's going to be something that is going to cause you to go into this desperation mode. But before you do that, you got to look at these steps, because the steps are going to help you avoid that fear-based energy. This is a progression. And so this is following the process. Whenever you're manifesting something, these stages are there. When you're manifesting, the door is going to close on anything and everything that you are no longer attached to, that are beneath you, that are draining you, that you have grown complacent with or in, that you have coveted, and that just can't come with you in your blessed future. So it does feel like a complete loss. And so it's okay for you to grieve that loss, but don't forget, your ultimate goal is to be in alignment with what you are manifesting, okay? So detachment is there. You got to think about that. What is Spirit, what is God really asking me to detach from? What is God really asking me to detach from? If it's a job, is it the fact that you were really living paycheck to paycheck, or you really weren't happy and you were complaining, maybe even silently to yourself, maybe not even to anybody, but every time you got up and you were supposed to go to work, you always had an attitude about it? That's complaining. And guess what? Remember, we don't even have to verbally say anything for it to be a complaint. Just like we don't have to show gratitude through our words, we already show it through our intention. So, this is why I say everything is a lead up to what's really happening. There's no surprise. There really isn't. So, the detachment is there. You're already aware of what is happening in your life, of why that door is closing. And then you got to really tap into what you're being asked to detach from. Is it the lie that you've been telling yourself that you really need that job? Or that you really, you might be saying, well, I wish I could do something different. Or maybe I should, or you've been entertaining it. There's something there. And that's going to cause you, detachment stage is going to cause you to be honest with yourself, with your intentions, with your desires. And you can't be on the fence anymore. So here is the breaking point where you're like, I got to make a choice. And sometimes we want to just fly back through that door, but that's desperation. That's okay. So you really don't want to do that. Your human is asking you to do it because your human has been programmed to find comfort in it. But now Spirit is showing you you don't need it. So what is it? You're going to have this aha moment. You're going to have an enlightened moment, an enlightenment. And this aha moment is going to be this, oh my gosh, I know what it is. You might be doing the dishes one day and realize, well, wait a minute. I really don't want to be there. I really do want to do something different. Or, we really aren't that happy together. We just kind of are together. And you're going to see why that door is closing more and more and more. In order for you to have this aha moment, it took for you to be vulnerable. So you really have to be open to what Spirit is showing you. You just gotta be, you have to allow for life to show you where Spirit really is asking you to go. Because spiritual superstars, remember, your thought creates everything. Your thought. So when we think about something, we kind of harp on it, Like you might be saying, let's use the job as an example. If you're getting laid off or just straight out fired, and you really don't feel like you did anything to warrant that, but you're kind of caught up in the cycle of it. They could be doing mass layoffs. And you're just like, well, I didn't like the hours. I've been wondering if this is really what I'm supposed to do. Am I called to do this? I've been really trying to discover my purpose. I've been seeking it out. And I really do love to make pastries. What is it that you love to do? And that could be coming up at the same time that this door is closing. Let's say it's a relationship. Well, as you're vulnerable, remember, you're being asked to detach from something, but it takes you to be vulnerable and open to what Spirit is going to show you in order to receive that enlightenment moment. So you might be saying, well, I mean, we argue a lot. Or, they cheated on me. I don't even feel the same about them. Or maybe you were the one that stepped out. And you're like, maybe we're just staying together to pay the bills, to like split bills or something. Or maybe the door is closing on you not having strong enough standards or boundaries or even requirements in relationship. Maybe just kind of going after the feeling of intimacy and finding that you're never in a committed relationship. And so now the door is closing to you not giving yourself the best of who you are and what life even is willing to give you, what the universe is sending to you. So whatever that is, you got to give that time for it to surface, because it's going to happen. It's going to surface. It's going to surface. Right? And so then, which this is really going to be for after the aha moment, you've got to decide. You really are going to have to make a decision. Do I go into my future or do I go back to the past? Do I really try to keep that door open? And honey, let me tell you, trying to keep that door open takes away from who you are. You have to really decide on, am I going to bet on myself? Am I going to give myself my best self? Or am I going to go back through this door that's closing? Do I really want to do that? Is it going to be a matter of me letting go of some dignity? Is it going to be, am I going to lose self-respect? So you're going to be pressed to look at your value. And when that door is closing, the struggle is real, because you really have to sit with yourself and you have to realize, well, dang, what am I really worth? What do I really value? What am I capable of? And you're going to have to sit. I want you to sit with that cognitive dissonance. I want you to sit with that struggle. I want you to be like, dang, even if you're like this, you're just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. What do I want to do? Have that conversation with your human, dear love. Have that conversation. Have it. Because if you scoot it under the rug, if you ignore what you're feeling, you will pry that closed door open. And you don't need to go back through that path. That door is closing for a reason. And you have to trust the process. Trust that you have everything that you need already. Trust that what's happening is the flow of life. Trust and bet on yourself, because then once you see that, and it won't be the whole picture, but you'll have something there that shows you, okay, well, maybe I can make something happen. Maybe I'll be okay. Maybe the kids and I will be okay. Maybe my family and I will be okay. Maybe if they're saying I can relocate to 4 options. I got 4 options, even out of the country if we want to, and they're going to pay for the relocation, costs and everything. Maybe this might be the break that my family and I were looking for. Maybe. You're going to have those bouts of faith. That's what faith starts as. It's a seedling. It's inside you. It's in your soul. You feel it and you're just like, maybe. And so then, Spirit, God, Allah, Jehovah, the Most High, Yahweh, Alpha and Omega, the Omniscient, the Omnipresent, however way you call our higher power, however way you call this beautiful source of energy that lives inside of us, that lives outside of us, that science cannot define, the science cannot tell us all about, but you can. You know that feeling. You know that energy. You know our Creator. So our Creator is going to be asking you to take action. And spiritual superstars, please forgive me for this, the whole setup and everything. We'll get it together, but this was so on my spirit to show you. So you're going to have to take action. Once you take action, it can be back through that closed door. You could try hard to go back through that closed door. But you can also go down this beautiful path that has started to open up and show you that you can make it in this uncharted territory. That you can bet on yourself and make things happen. That you are more ready than you thought you would be. That you are really prepared and you're not just getting ready. That you don't have to read more books or look at more videos or go back to school. That you are absolutely ready to jump into this new you that you've already been becoming. Okay? So as you take action, you're moving on to another step. And as you take action, you are going to start to see that there is this beautiful transformation starting to happen inside of you. Once you take that action, you're going to practice. You're going to keep it going. So you're going to, when you take action into this new direction, instead of trying to pry that closed door open, you're going to start seeing that, I really am worthy of love. Well, if we move to, let's say it was Washington. If we move to Seattle, Washington, let's say you live in Florida now, and you're moving halfway across the nation. And you say, well, the company's paying for it, and we don't have family in Washington, but you know what? We could probably give it a go, because now you're starting to look into different things. You're starting to do your due diligence. You're researching. You're trying to look at other options with vulnerable openness, okay? And then you know what happens? You start gaining momentum in this beautiful new path. And then, so you are really, you're seeing more signs that really tie up into your awareness, which is where you started. You're seeing, well, on one hand, if I go back through this closed door, I know what I'm going to get. But if I go down this uncharted territory, this new path, I'm starting to feel a little different about it. There's some possibilities there. And you know what? They say I'm possible is impossible. Maybe I can do this. And your faith begins to build. And so, yeah, the struggle is real when the door closes. But, honey, you've got to go through the process. When that door closes, I want you to remember you have options. You do not have to try to pry that door back open. It's really tough when we feel rejection. But if you bet on yourself and you believe in the Most High, you believe in the universe, and these are all universal laws. So even if you believe in non-denominational principles, this is science and spirituality. And so you can believe on that. Just believe in your own experiences. Okay? And once you do start walking in this new path, you are going to receive confirmation. And that confirmation is going to be through your dreams. It's going to be through the visions you have, but it's definitely also going to be through what people are telling you. You're going to start seeing your life just kind of line up and just fit perfectly. The puzzle pieces start fitting together and things start working themselves out. And you're just going to be like, wow, how'd that come together? It was because your faith and belief activated it. Because you chose to take action, not by trying to reopen that closed door, but betting on yourself. And so keep going in that new direction. All right, so these are just the stages that you're going to go through. The last thing I wanted to share with you, dear love, is so for me, and you hear the cats and all of that, so excuse me again, excuse the way this all is set up. We'll get it together. But this was so strongly, and I know that many of you may have needed to hear this. Because you look at social media and you see where things look so perfect in people's lives. But if you're like me, I want to see the process of it. I want to see it play out because I want to know if what I'm experiencing is remotely similar to anybody else that is where I'm trying to go. Okay? And I'm here to tell you that it gets ugly when the door closes, and I've been there so many times. But I can also tell you that even when my human wants to get desperate and wants to keep that door open, and I want to pry myself in between, the bracket of the door and the door, and you want to just push it to stay open. You want to use your whole body to keep that door open. You know what I'm saying? Even if you could have a foot in and it, practically is about to close on you, that equates to lying, making stuff up. That equates to losing your self-respect, your dignity. That equates to saying and doing what you feel you have to do to placate, acquiesce, to keep somebody. That equates to you losing yourself. And you don't deserve to do that. You don't deserve that. That could be you losing your food stamps. That could be you losing your Section 8 because you have gotten a better job. You've gotten promoted. That could be you losing an affiliation with an organization that you love the benefits. You use the benefits. Maybe you didn't even use them at all, but you had them to use, and so that loss happens. It could be just the access to someone or something. And so once you're moving in this new direction, that door is closing slowly. And that door closing comes in the signs that we talked about in the awareness stage. And so once you start going back and you look at the process as it's happening, then you're going to see that life really is coming together to bless you. Because the bottom line is, dear love, when you are blessed with more, when you are working towards receiving more, you cannot get it hanging on to anything that is of lack. You cannot receive wealth if what you have in your life is scarcity, is energy that is lacking. And when you start moving, you are going to see those doors close. And so I want you to look at that and I want you to say, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please show me my spiritual guidance the way that I can receive it. You may not know anything else to say except thank you. And I really want you to just be able to say that. Why? Because that's gratitude. And the more you show gratitude, it replaces the spirit of lack. It replaces that fear-based energy of that door closing. It replaces the feeling of loss with the feeling of abundance. And so, honey, remember this. When you are manifesting, and you should be in our 21-day manifestation breakthrough program right now. When you are manifesting, the universe goes on your feeling. Okay? Goes on your feeling. So what you're really feeling, really inside, not what you say, not even what you want, not even what you ask for. You don't have to say a word. Nothing. It's in your intention. That's what the universe feeds off of. So when that door closes, replace that fear that your human is showing that says, open that door back up. We can't be without that, or we can't live life without them. We need that. It's only because your human is used to that. But that door is closing, and that change produces that fear coming from your human. The cortisol, the stress hormones. Science has proven that part. And so you've got to reach deeply within, in your heart. That's where your truth is. And you got to really ask yourself, what is it that we really want? And you've got to tap into that. And in order for you to be honest with yourself, you're going to have to be honest with what it is you must detach from. So, what is it? We just had the Cancer full moon energy, and that's a lot of fear-based energy, in the closet fear-based energy. What makes us feel like we are cracked on the outside, that we're broken. All of that. You're feeling it right now. I know it. And you have got to release from it. What keeps you hidden? When you go inside your home and you don't come back out that night because of whatever happened during the day. That is what Spirit wants you to detach from. What's keeping you small? Just hiding away your light because you disappoint somebody that's around you the majority of your day or your night. You could live with that person. It could be a manager, boss, co-worker. Could be a parent. Could be your spouse. Could even be your child, other family member. But it's these things that our human wants to hold on to, even though it's toxic. So that door closing produces all of that. Your job as the soul within your human is to understand that's your human communicating with you. And then you talk to your human and you tell your human, we're okay. We're going to be okay. We are just fine. You are feeling the closed door. But this change means that we have already stepped into the next cycle of our beautifully blessed life. And we're ready. Human, I know you don't feel ready, but we're ready. And I need you then to start doing your mirror work. Use our water method. Okay? Use all of the tools that I have lined up for you in our 21-day manifestation breakthrough program. Because science has proven, honey, 21 days of constant repeat of something is going to create a new habit. It doesn't mean you're going to keep that habit. So be honest with yourself. You must repeat it. We follow the trans-theoretical model because it takes 6 months for a complete behavioral change. And guess what? It's 6 months from a full moon to a new moon, and a new moon to the full moon. I think I said that. Vice versa. Either way, the stars are going to be lined up in the same spot of the sky, but it's going to be a new beginning or a full release. 6 months. So 21 days to lay that solid foundation. Okay? Just remember that. Your job is to reprogram your human. So when you feel that fear, talk to your human. Take an action to move into your future. No matter what it is, take an actionable step to move your human and activate more faith. Every time you do it, you're reprogramming your human so that when your human feels that fear-based energy again, when the doors close or when the door is starting to close, your human's going to be like, okay, we got this. We got this. Okay, well, I've got to be honest with myself. And so I feel a little sad, but I know we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Your human will begin to adapt to change. That's all a door close is. When the door is closing, change is happening. But just remember, it's the ebb and flow of life. It's just ebb and flow. That's it. But you're not giving up. You are not stressing out. You are not going back to your past. You're going to take this opportunity to move forward into your beautifully blessed future. And you have the divine paintbrush. And so the very next day is a whole blank canvas. You get to create your life according to your mind's eye. What is it that you see? You see the unseen. you see the ultimate manifested outcome. And that's real. So I know I've talked, I didn't mean for this to be, 40 minutes? I hope and pray that this has helped somebody, because I know I have freaked out many times when the door has closed, especially when you have other people depending on you. If you're a parent, if you're a sibling that's raising your other siblings, or whoever, your grandparents, or whoever you've got depending on you, and maybe it's just you by yourself in this world, you know, it gets really scary because our human is just formed with fear-based energy. And so we've got a lot of stuff coming to us during the day and at night, and just a lot of obligations, responsibilities, all this stuff. And we got social media. You don't know what to believe. You don't know what to, you don't know until you go within and you sit with it. Just be still. Just be still and follow the process. I hope and pray that this has been a blessing to you or to someone. And I love y'all to life. I love y'all to life. And so if there's anything that I can do for you, just let me know. I don't know if this video will stay up. I don't know. We'll see. But let me know in the comment section what you need and if this video helped you at all. Love you. You got this. Don't go through that closed door. Another one has already opened.